Here we go! It's time to do this once again! It's time to dim the lights and let the feedback build! 3 clicks and sticks! And we're ready to explode! We sing along!
This content is for informational and educational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever by Draper Gorin Blockchain, aka DGB, the presenter, or other associated parties for the content being provided. Please do your own due diligence and seek proper counsel.
Boom. Welcome to we're doing a special edition. By the way, did you see what the title of this thing is, guys? I
Blockchain family hang session with the Etherlink Tezos Accelerator.
So
Yeah.
we're deciding. We still haven't fully decided of naming this thing. We've done like 17. This is episode number 17.5, 18 of the DGB show, but we never named it. So I think the working title is now Blockchain Family Hang Session with Blockchain Family.
Yeah, really rolls off the
Welcome to
tongue.
the family. Tezos
Nice
is
and
definitely a
concise.
big part of the family. So
Yes.
so this is
Hey, it's better than
we're going
Swan.
live at a different time, and partly we're live at a different time because it's when you're dealing with people around the world.
Where am
people are
I?
in different time zones, and Kevin didn't want to wake up at like 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. or whenever it was in Singapore while he's there at the Etherlink Accelerator.
Yeah.
So we decided to do it at 9 a.m. Singapore time because you're in Singapore.
I am.
So, welcome. Everyone who's hung with us before knows Kevin. He is a part of the blockchain family, but is the Tezos.
Good. Got kicked out of my own family.
What was that?
They're not tolerant of blockchain. When I was 12, my parents kicked me out. They're like, no blockchain in this family. So I had to find a new one. This is my chosen family.
Now now that you're 14 years old, you found your chosen family.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, mustache hasn't come in yet, as you can see. But
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure one
I'm
of our
in
previous
Singapore.
live streams you were visiting your parents' house, so I know that's a lie.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're on to me. No, but yeah,
so
I am. I'm
tell
in the
us where
TZ
you are,
APAC
and then we have to learn
Yeah.
about Etherlink.
I'm in the TZ APAC offices in Singapore, and this is for a novel new program. And I'm so glad that we're doing this in the Tezos ecosystem. Definitely a major stride in the direction I think a lot of people have been clamoring for. So this is the Etherlink focused DeFi Catalyst Accelerator. So it's Tezos. So Trilitech organized this. Which is the UK office that does core development, a lot of partnerships, very much an operating arm for Tezos. And so this was put on. We never did this before. We never had anything that was like an accelerator in the Tezos ecosystem. But first, to set the table, what is Etherlink? It's like why is there something other than Tezos behind me?
Quick, really quick. I just want to say something. We don't normally go live at this time, but I'm noticing there are a ton of people who are watching this live. So if you're seeing this on LinkedIn, on Twitter, or on YouTube, feel free to comment and tell us where you're joining from and ask any questions you like, because I'll see it. And throughout this show, this episode, this live stream, we'll probably bounce around and get to meet a bunch of people in the office there that are there with Kevin. So it could be fun. So ask any questions you have. But now, Kevin, tell us what the heck is Etherlink?
Yeah, and I'm retweeting the Twitter link so people can see it. Yes, so Etherlink is the new layer 2. guess it's less than a year old at this point still, but it is EVM. Okay, so it's an EVM layer 2. It started, I remember the first demo of it was at TezDev in July of last year, and it was at that point there wasn't this idea to build a whole on layer 2. It was just a demo to show that you can do rollups on Tezos. You can do EVM rollups on Tezos. For years and years and years, people have been saying, "Oh, I want to work on Tezos so badly. I like the decentralization. I like the formal verification. I like the on-chain governance. Like all this stuff. It's so ideal." But it's like, oh, but I built this app in EVM, or I want to be able to be on all these EVM chains and all that. And it's like, well, yeah, now you can do it. So that was the demo, and you can look back, and I think on YouTube you can search for the EVM demos at TezDev in Paris last year. But then, and it really is not in yet. Nicholas, he came in, and I think it was him really pushing and spearheading this as the head of DeFi. I mean, that's where he is now. That's his title now. But he really pushed on. Like, no, let's really expand this thing. Let's make this a full-on layer 2 out there with all the other EVM layer 2s. And what's so unique about it is that most EVM layer 2s, it just kind of assumed actually that they write to Ethereum as the layer 1. I mean, it's Ethereum virtual machine, but the idea is, well, there's some issues there. There's stuff with MEV, there's cost, transaction costs. Like for builders especially, it's a problem. And then but the idea with Tezos is that like you have all these advantages, and if you just you can mitigate those cost burdens, it's more decentralized on Tezos as well. And you can get all these Tezos advantages by just writing to the layer 1. So it's a seamless experience, really, like any other layer 2 EVM layer 2 for builders and for users. I mean, you want to use your MetaMask, use MetaMask. I mean, if you have this front end for your marketplace and everything, you don't want any friction for your users. You want them to be able to go in and out of different L2s as things change for you and needs change for you as a builder, or you just want to add on and have a multi cross-chain situation going. And of course, you can bridge the assets over to Etherlink and or the Tezos landscape, the Tezos stack. Seamlessness, all that. And so for Tezos, the idea here is also like, well, DeFi, I mean, DeFi Accelerator, like what's the idea here? It's like, well, we can start bridging assets over. I mean, that's where the majority of liquidity lives. 65% of, about 55% of DeFi TVL is on Ethereum mainnet. About 10 to 15% of it is on non-EVM. The rest is EVM. So, that's not too shabby actually for non-EVM, but also it's like, well, we want to be covering all bases. So it is, I think for Tezos people who have come here, or Tezos projects that have extended into this, like Plenty with Plend, and Cord, which is doing a project called Hanchi. I mean, this is a link to a larger market. This is expanding out. And then after that, we can start looking at other EVM layer 2s, and because that's a whole competition ecosystem there. And then there are also EVM projects that are just purely coming from totally outside the Tezos ecosystem that are here too. 3 out of the 5 are that. That's
really cool. So the idea, right, is that it's for the average person who's maybe an Ethereum DeFi participant. They're just like, they might find a product and go, okay, I have to bridge some tokens over to Arbitrum to participate on Dolomite, right? If they find Plend or one of the other products that are being built on Etherlink, they'll be able to do a similar thing. And then for their user experience, it'll be the same as any other Ethereum EVM or Ethereum layer 2. But for the Tezos world, I'm assuming there's going to be easy ways to bridge your Tez and the assets you have on Tezos. And,
And I believe from what I've gathered, that'll be the next step also. Once we can find out, like the market gets built for Etherlink, and that user base, once that infrastructure, mainnet has to launch first. And then we can start saying, all right, well, and I think this is actually, cause some confusion, I think, because I think those that are really gung-ho about this are like, yeah, we can bridge over the L1 over to L2. And then L1 people and L1 projects are like, wait, what? But then it's
What does
like, well,
that even
no.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
what does that even mean?
yeah,
Yeah. If you want to be on the same platform, and you want to bring these great Tezos assets over, you can do that and come right back. And especially Tezos core technologies enable that very well. Like tickets is something we haven't talked about much, but that's something the Tezos ecosystem or Tezos blockchain for years. And it's a native protocol standard. And what's great about that is that as opposed to even just the FA standards that we have, or the FA21 standard, is that it can live on L1 and L2 without having to redeploy something, which is great. Especially tickets, because that is just pure native to the Tezos protocol. It's not even a contract, and so the assets live into your wallet. Yeah, it's more like Tez, where like you have the thing. I mean, do you ever really have the thing? We're talking about like magic internet money, but like something lives in your wallet versus what? Yeah, like really, when we talk about tokens, about any token, smart contracts, ERC20s, FA, whatever, we don't actually get the token. I mean, the wallet makes it look like that because that's the interface, but really there's a smart contract that lives out there. There's a ledger in it, and then there's your address, and here's how much of it you own. But with tickets, which is really cool, and there haven't been that many projects that have experimented with it, but now we're starting to see that in Tezos community. People are trying little things. I'd love to use it for stable Tez stuff, but it's like
when is
in your wallet. Cool.
When is mainnet launch for Etherlink? And then I'm gonna ask that question. Then I have a second question. May?
Tentatively late May. Yeah.
Ooh, that's not long from now. So
well, I mean, it was to be out earlier, but there were other things they really wanted to get right before we went to mainnet. So
and right now you guys are building on testnet, right?
Yeah, so there is a ghostnet testnet for Etherlink, and that's what everyone here is working on.
Yeah, I mean, can you share? We can add it to the thing afterwards, but can you share with me some links to documentation for that so we can add it to the thing afterwards? Yeah. I wanna play with it. I have a question regarding that. So I don't know, maybe we can talk to some of the other teams and stuff building on it, but from the perspective of building on Etherlink, is building on it more similar to building on Tezos mainnet, or is it more similar to building on a Ethereum layer 2?
Ethereum layer 2 by far.
So if there was GitHub code for something that's on Arbitrum or Polygon, I could potentially fork that, and instead of pointing at the RPCs for Polygon, I could do it for Etherlink.
Exactly. The idea here is just to totally remove those frictions so that you can use the same code base, like virtually with very little to no modification at all. And then
how are layer ones on Tezos going to port maybe into the second layer? Are they going to have to rewrite the code because they're probably on Michelson now?
No, it would just be you just bridge it over. Very simple. Or otherwise it's just like it'll live on if it's built in.
Their tokens would bridge over, but their protocols, if they wanted to have them on the second layer, they had to rewrite them in Solidity, right?
No. Well, I mean, you wouldn't need to do that. I mean, well, the idea is like all this stuff is getting rolled up to Tezos anyway. So the whole point there is just to be able to interface with each other so that these assets can mix in the same.
David, it's interesting though, because David is thinking about it from like the Ethereum standpoint and layer 2. And Ethereum is very expensive and slow compared to the layer 2s. Tezos isn't expensive or slow at the moment. It might be expensive.
What if they get a whole bunch of people though?
If you were doing millions and millions of transactions, it could be expensive in comparison to a layer 2 maybe, because it might cost you a cent or two, right? But
everybody says that Solana works great, but when it gets all bottlenecked up, it still fails.
Yeah, when it works.
I've had a better experience on Tezos so far than I did on Solana.
Well, Tezos works. I haven't had those problems almost ever, and the only times I had problems like that on Tezos with transactions failing was pre any UX, like trying to do stuff on the command line interface many years ago.
Right.
Which I did. I got to try and find those because I found out that somebody minted an NFT that predated my first one. And I felt bad about it. So now I have to find the ones that predate that. I know I did it. So, which by the way, I got to be on top of this so that I can mint one of the first NFTs as Punk Ape Strong when a mainnet launches.
And
I'm excited. I've already enjoyed Tezos into finding out that they already have like concentrated liquidity pools and stuff like that. So everything that's over on Ethereum so far, I'm finding on Tezos, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think it leads a lot of discovery as well, because we have, we have all this great stuff, and the numbers are good, like it far beyond what the market cap would suggest relative to others. So which other means either Tezos is very undervalued, because this, we're in the we just had the halving. People are thinking in terms of markets very much, even though that's not the only thing out there. But so either Tezos is very undervalued relative to its market cap, looking at the fundamentals, or other stuff is very overvalued. I think we all have a very bullish mentality going on, and people are looking for the upside. So you can draw your own conclusions from that, not financial advice.
Here's the thing: is there is it's a double-edged sword, and there's a little bit of not doing what is right for the long term, or focusing on what's best for the long term, because there is liquidity in this magical internet money world that doesn't exist in the normal startup world. But the market cap of the company that owns the programming language does not really affect the decision making of an engineer building the best product in the world, right? There is a certain amount, like, for example, back in the day, I remember I was working at MySpace, and at the time there was open source code. I remember at the time, maybe it was Rails, like Ruby on Rails or something like that was the Cool Kids Club programming language, right? Because it was open source, because of certain reasons.
It's easy to use.
And I went to go build a product, and I asked my partner, who is a super smart engineer, what we should be using, and he wanted to build it on .NET. Microsoft, which is the opposite of the Cool Kids Club of programming languages. But we were building financial software, and we were trying to partner with the biggest banks in the world. And when we did a deal with American Express and they did their due diligence on us, they were happy we were being built on .NET because they have relationships with Microsoft, and they could pick up the phone and call up some high-level person at Microsoft and say, shit's broken, help us fix it, right? And that doesn't exist in the open source world. You have something, right? It's not totally analogous to where we are in the community, but when people are building real life products that need to scale, enterprise ready solutions that are being built over the next few years, because like we've said many times, I'm going to throw this thing up because I happen to have it.
Yeah.
No one starts internet companies anymore, but every company is an internet company now, right? In a few years, we're not going to be talking about building a blockchain company. Every bank, every institution, every single group will be using some form of it for trust with their users, with their suppliers, with whoever, right?
Yeah.
None of those use cases give any shits to the price of a token. Actually, if anything, something being expensive is a problem, right? So the fact that certain tokens are high and it's a gas is a problem. But they're not going to be looking at that. They're going to be looking at things like Tezos, looking at things like Etherlink, and going, is this the best database? Is this the best programming language for what we need to build? And that will be their choice, right? Today, we're in a different kind of economy and a different kind of thing. And it bugs us when something we believe is so much better is not worth as much as the other thing. But it's not actually a super practical or important feeling, right? It's just a feeling. And of course, number go up makes you feel good, and we all want to make money and pay our mortgage and stuff like that.
Changes attitudes,
of course.
I mean, but I also say that like there's
important.
something. Yeah, I think there's two schools of thought, and especially amongst like investors, financial institutions, all of that. One is like you want the kind of the support net of comfort of like there's a lot of people using this stack or this suite of tools or whatever. Then there's the other that it's like I want to go to where what's undercapitalized. I want to go. I want to diversify assets because here's a hidden opportunity because this other market's oversaturated, which is especially important for like the mid cap, small cap, that long tail of participants, which is it's a very small world, the crypto world. So that's why I think a lot of people are looking at, then 15% of the TVL out there is non-EVM. And so diversification, I'm a strong believer in that. I think finance, and I don't need to just say that. I mean, the finance believes that. But also, when you're at a formative time, you also need that shared communication with the broader at-large ecosystems, because it is a small world and we're all in this together. We have to have some compatibility to some degree. So that's why Etherlink. By the way, do you notice that the colors of DGB match the Etherlink?
I feel like it's a match. It's a match made in heaven. We need to work on something here. I think I'm gonna be. Hey, is any of the Tezos Foundation folks participating in what you're doing there? Is is Amar hanging out there? Is he in London?
Still coming in. I think they're still coming in. No, Amar's here and Nico's here.
I want to give him a virtual high five.
Let's talk to one of the project. Naz.
Yeah. Wait. Okay.
We're talking about.
So bring the project in, but also. We talked about this, and I know we talk to you all the time, so we can have you back and talk about Tezfin and what Tezfin is doing there too. But I want to hear what's new there. But you put on earbuds, so that means that dude can't hear us. So maybe you got to switch it to speaker.
Why am I not hearing you? Hold on. All right. Oh yeah, you can just go ahead.
Can you hear us now?
Hey guys.
Aha, how's it going, man?
I can't hear you guys, but okay.
Oh, he can't?
Okay, I can now. I can.
Oh, you gave him.
Cool.
Scooch, get him center on the screen. Scooch over. There we go. There we go. We got to see. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Nash, founder of Hashleap. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashleap?
Hashleap, it's HASH. Like leap, L-E-A-P.
All right, Hashleap.
Yeah.
Nice. Tell us what's Hashleap? What do you?
Yes. So we're building Hashleap to simplify crypto payments for Web3 companies, freelancers, and contractors to help them track, receive, and reconcile their crypto payments. So basically, we want to remove the error-prone and tedious process actually of exchanging wallet addresses and then going on multiple blockchain explorers and then basically checking out whether you have received the payment or not. And then also a lot of times what happens is then you end up DMing people on Telegram and all that. Hey, have you sent me the payment or not, or should I check it, and all that stuff.
Is the idea like vanity usernames and things like that? So kind of like a little bit like maybe ENS or Tezos domains or something like that, but for a wallet address for sending and receiving payments.
So that could also be used, but right now we are replacing all these things with few links, few clicks, basically. So what you could do, let's say, so for example, one way you could collect payment is by sending invoices to people, right? So that's like collecting just one payment. So in that case,
so like in my invoicing software, if I send somebody a FreshBooks invoice, I can have a link to pay me directly on Tezos or right on Etherlink or.
So that would be a thing that we will integrate later on. But right now, you just go to Hashleap, you create the invoice, send it to someone, and then that will land in their email box, and then basically they can click the link and then connect their wallet and pay, basically. So the main one of the main you could say the benefit of this is, instead of, let's say you are collecting payments from, let's say, multiple chains and in multiple tokens, so instead of going on to all those multiple like block explorers and all that, you will have it in a single place, basically. So you can see that what payments are outstanding, what you have received, and all that.
Can I choose can I choose what currency I receive it in, even if the person paying pays in a different one, or I just choose which ones I'm willing to accept?
That's an awesome question. So right now we have the option. So you have the option of choosing which chain and which currency you want to accept payments in. So, but so the person has to basically. So let's say you selected 3 chains and let's say 3 stable coins to accept the money in. So
Mhm.
if I'm paying you, then in that case I have to be on those chains. But we are exactly building or we have actually so there's another adapt that we have. It's called hashx.io, so which is basically a cross-chain bridge. So we will be just using exactly the same smart contracts basically to for you to send. So let's say in that case what will happen is you say that, okay, I want to accept UST on Etherlink, and then I could be on Polygon or wherever, doesn't matter, and I send it.
USD Tez on
Sorry,
Ether.
yeah. Sorry, not UST, like the one that's dead. So,
Careful, you have
yeah,
Kevin's in the room with you.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So basically, we will do all the swap in the middle, and then you will see what token and chain you have specified.
That's
Basically.
cool. So
Yeah.
okay, so first off, is this the first I know product you're building that's Tezos related? Were you first on EVMs before this? And then first, where are you from in the world? What brings you to
Oh,
where did you come from originally?
okay. So I'm based in UK, London.
Okay.
So our company is also based in London. And yes, so we are currently live, or you could say we are running private beta on 6 EVM chains, and then the next is going to be Etherlink, because Etherlink is also EVM based. So that's, I think it's quite it basically goes along quite well with what we are building. And before this, I was co-founder in another startup, not Web3, Web2, and I worked in few other startups. Like for example, our whole team, including me, we bring about over 5 decades of experience from payment companies, fintechs, Web3 companies. So
Nice.
plenty of those. So we
So
bring a lot of. So that's our edge, you could say.
Kevin will give you our email address to send us the deck and all that stuff. But right now,
That's cool.
our main mission is to learn more about Etherlink, I think, so that we can make educated decisions. But tell me, so you said you're building, you built on other EVMs already. What's which ones?
Oh yeah, so we are right now running on Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Avalanche, and BSC. But our
So if you're
cross-chain
so
also
the
live on base.
tell
Sorry.
me,
Yeah.
integrating with Etherlink right now, it's just testnet. With your code base, were there any changes other than just switching out the RPC or link or something like that? What's the challenge of building on Etherlink? Is there a challenge, or is it just as easy as switching from Polygon to Arbitrum?
It will be as easy as what you just mentioned, just switching the RPCs. Yeah.
Okay, let's switch it up.
Kevin wants
Okay,
to
hey,
get added.
congrats. I wanna get the pitch, and we'll do a hang session after this, especially when you're in England. The time difference will be a little easier too. So have a great day. And
Thank you so much.
To meet you, man.
Yep. Nice talking to you.
Hash leap.
Take care. Bye. Hash
All right.
leap. Yeah.
Leap.
Cool.
Yeah, hash leap. Let's go. I like it. Who's next?
Hi guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, we are
can you hear?
safe over here.
All right.
Yeah, I can.
So
Yeah,
what are you guys building? Well, first off, who are you?
we are of Savix. I am a mobile developer, and Dream over here is our head of design.
Cool. Tell us your names again, just because it cut out right when you were saying it.
Yeah. My name is Marina, and
Marina?
here is Rima.
Mina?
And Rima.
Rima, Marina and Rima. All right. What first off, where in the world are you did you join us from before Singapore, obviously?
Yeah. I'm living in Ukraine, and Rima here living in the US.
Oh,
Like
cool.
our team is split between those two countries, US and Ukraine, basically.
Very cool. And so what are you building?
Yeah, we are building on-chain neobank targeting US underbank people in the US and Latam. Basically, we are building an on-chain Wise or PayPal.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool. So what's the name of the company?
SaveX.
How do you spell that?
SaveX.
Oh, SaveX. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I mean, sorry, I think there's a little bit of a delay from out here because David is joining us from Northern California. I'm in Southern California, and you guys being in Singapore. And for me, it's the end of the day. So you guys are fresh and just woke up and have energy. I'm missing it. So tell me what SaveX, what makes SaveX different from PayPal, from other crypto products?
Basically, we are on-chain product, while PayPal and Wise are not. And in the countries we are targeting, for example, Argentina, the difference between official rate and crypto rate is huge. It's like up to 20%. So we are offering our clients a free remittances, just because the difference between the crypto cards is so strong. So we can still earn on that percent, like our business model, and still offer those people very good rates, way better than what is Wise or PayPal offering, because they're targeting official rates.
Is that the biggest part of the business is sending and receiving money, kind of like Venmo or Cash App, but on chain, faster and easier?
Yeah, it's our B2C model. We also have B2B clients from different countries, actually. Right now it's India, Dubai, remittances between India and Dubai, and maybe something else is coming.
Awesome. So tell me why did you guys come to the Etherlink Accelerator? Have you built on Tezos previous to this, or are you built on other EVMs and now you want to integrate Etherlink?
Actually, our main chain before was Polygon.
Okay.
And the speed Etherlink offering is just incredible. We really want to transit to make Etherlink our main chain, basically because of the speed, and also we are paying gas fees for our clients. And Etherlink is offering pretty low fees while still keeping very fast transactions. Our clients are very impatient people. They just don't like to wait while their transactions appear in the chain. They just want everything to be like immediate.
I mean, I think that's what we're getting used to, more instant gratification as we adopt the internet and do everything that we do in the modern world. Tell me, starting to get dark here. I don't know. Tell me, are either of you technical members of the team? That's too bright now.
Yeah. Mobile developer. I'm basically head of front end in the team. We have our app released in test flight in App Store, which is my work, and also we have an internal testing in Android.
So can I, as a US citizen, can I go on the App Store and get?
It's only on test flight now.
Test flight. Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin's gonna
so
give
if you're
you
interested, we for sure can send you a link.
100%. I'm interested. Kevin will give you my email address and David Rankin's email address, and I want to play with it and learn more. So I'm interested. The reason I asked you if you're the technical member of the team, I want to hear, if Polygon was your main chain you were using prior, or you're using today until Etherlink launches. I keep asking everybody, what's the difference in building on Etherlink or building on Polygon from your standpoint? Is there a big difference? Is there a lot of new integrations you need to do? Has there been any challenges?
On my part, as a mobile developer, it wasn't like any challenges except for changing the button name and like labels. But what I hear from our backend developer, who is also our CTO, he says that because both chains are EVM compatible, we shouldn't change the core of our app. So the transition we expect it to be very smooth, very fast.
So
So
the core,
the main
so the
challenge is
core is the same. You'll probably just
core
change
is the same.
obviously the node or RPC links and stuff like that.
Yeah. And also like Etherlink is still on testnet. And we were live on Polygon mainnet, so we will have to like downgrade a little bit, just because transition from mainnet to testnet back to testnet.
Yeah, that makes sense. So cool. I mean, a part of why we were doing this stream and these hang sessions today was so that Rankin and I could learn more about Etherlink. He's still learning about Tezos, but I've been playing with Tezos and building on it for many years. And so, cool. Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, there's I can get technical. Stephen just said these conversations are fairly technical, but it's been good to sit and learn about what investors are looking for and some cool projects companies are building. I get technical and nerdy, and I like to build things myself. That's why I keep asking these questions, because to be super transparent, I'm going to probably spend some time tonight and pull some night sessions over the next few weeks and fork some projects on GitHub and see if I could play around with the Etherlink testnet, because
do you code?
That's important to me. I don't know. It depends what ideas we have in the moment, but you can add. I was the first person who did a cross-chain transaction onto Tezos using Kevin's first version of his product, and I was the first person who ever made a music video NFT on Tezos also.
Wow, cool.
I like to just claim first. I'm like the guy in the YouTube comments that just screams first, but doesn't really contribute anything other than that to the party. But that's my joke. But I do like to learn.
Hey, you got some good NFTs though. You got some good NFTs out there.
Hey, we've had some fun, and Tezos, the art community and the NFT community is second to none in my opinion. Actually, I like it better than everywhere else. But it's cool to hear what you guys are building. And you're on test flight right now. So are you waiting for Etherlink mainnet launch to launch your product, or is it just timing was good for this? And when do you plan on launching publicly?
Yeah, we are still waiting for some integrations with our amps, basically because our main market is Argentina, and to target them, we are waiting for our license.
Okay. You need to get an Argentinian like a money transfer license or something like that?
We are getting money service business license in Montana, which allows us to serve non-US customers, which will allow us to serve Argentinians.
Okay, that's interesting. How long does that process take?
It's a long process. We already started. I think it's a couple of months more. Okay. Just because all those bureaucracy in the US is insane.
That's awesome. Yeah, US is very tough. Well, good luck with it. Please share more with us as you build and as you grow. And I want to hear obviously how it is to work on Etherlink, and sure. It would be very cool to learn more about it. I saw Kevin walk by. That's why I started.
Yeah. He's targeting us from the back. I'm passing.
All right, cool. Well, great to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So see you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Very good to meet you.
So we're gonna have some fun on Tezos on a testnet.
I think so. I think like that might be the best part of Etherlink launching is obviously we're fans of Tezos and everything, but the fact that we can just fork really dumb stuff that's been made on Ethereum and just launch it like overnight, like a couple of.
You should probably have some supervision when we do that, though.
We probably should. How's it going?
Hey, nice to meet you. My name's Yakov.
Yakov, great to meet you, man. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Russia. Then I moved to Israel. Now I'm living in Europe, happily.
Okay. So Yaakov, welcome. I spent my childhood summers in Israel because my mom's a Hebrew school teacher, and so I got to spend summers there with my grandparents and stuff, which was very cool. But tell me what what are you working on, and what brought you to this accelerator?
Yeah, so we're working on Raiva. It is the end game for passive income.
Say what's it called?
Raiva, Rivo.
Rivo or Rivo.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Rivo. Okay, so tell me what is Rivo?
Yeah, Raiva is the end game for passive income. It is self-custodial mobile app which gives you direct access to the best DeFi yields. That's pretty much it. I have been working with passive income like since 2017 in crypto, and I think the best fruit of crypto is passive income, because you can use your assets in the system.
So let's see if this makes sense, and if what I think it is, a simple mobile app to basically transfer your assets between certain liquidity pools or yield generating DeFi products, but simple and not like using MetaMask or something like that. Like,
yeah, it is the app that's already live, but after we launched in December, we discovered that it is still too hard.
Yeah.
Like despite having like really simple interface, multi-chain, one-click transaction, swapping through investment products with full non-custodiality, it's still too much. So right now we're building mobile app which basically Google login or like social login. Then you top up with your credit card, and then you have two buttons: Ethereum strategy and USD strategy. And we have been working for like 1 year to build smart contracts, index products, like
when you say USD or Ethereum strategy, do you literally just buy USD or just buy Ethereum and you just have a single yield, or is there options below it of where you put it?
I think we will start with the simplest MVP version, where you just invest in bunch of strategies, but with the lowest risk protocols. But for us currently, it is A-class security with like Pendle or Gearbox or Athena.
So what's the yield on USD in your app?
Obviously it will fluctuate based on the market conditions, but I guess it should not go lower than 15% based like for the next 1.5 years. But obviously it's non-custodial, so it's your money directly sending to the DeFi protocols, and this is where you get the efficiency, because you do not have centralized entity that cuts the profits to maintain their huge back office.
Yeah, and what is the app already available, the first version, or
Yeah, the web app, we call it like a pro version, is already live. It is riva.xyz. So you can check it out. It has social login, multi-chain experience, like 25 different strategies. But go ahead.
And so are you so what I'm trying to think of, so you do the normal, like remember there was, I don't know if there was an app called Linen, was in sort of a previous cycle. There was an app called Linen that allowed you to do a similar thing. And do you do well? Yeah, it's getting crowded, but I think that where I'm getting at is, because it's self-custody, you don't custody anything. I get the app.
Correct.
It's important. I have to save my private keys and all that stuff and make sure that I don't lose them, because if I lose access to Gmail or something,
you don't need to do this anymore. You just use account abstraction technology, but we hide it, not hide it, but like abstract all the complexity. So instead of creating your private key and managing your private key, you can either tie up to Twitter account or Google account, or basically to iCloud. So it's the idea for the app, which will be the light version, is to reduce all this complexity. Yes.
That's very cool.
What was the site again? What was the site again?
Riva.xyz.
And how do you spell that? The Riva.
Okay, we will need to think about the naming. It is what I hear. RIVO.
RIVO.xyz, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Earn with DeFi, simple, self-custodial.
Correct.
What happens if I steal your Twitter login and I download your app? Will I have access? And because non-custodial, is it extra risky?
Yeah, they're obviously not in the MVP version, but there should be and will be the additional layer of security. And there are a bunch of layers that you can create on top of this. You can have like the passcode for transactions, authenticator, face ID. But also, just to give you clarity, the stuff that we're working with Tezos is not the web app. It will be solely on Etherlink. And with Etherlink, you have gasless and instant transactions, basically. And within this app, you will have like 2 buttons instead of 20 different strategies that you can see on web app. It will be the more like diversified portfolio. When you click Ethereum, it will diversify you across like different pendle pools. And obviously, you will know where your money is, how the yield is generated.
Is that going to? Are you going to include that strategy or that opportunity in your mobile app as well, or is it just going to be an Etherlink focused like landing page just for Etherlink?
Mobile app will be built on top of Etherlink.
A separate one.
Yeah, because see the web.
You know what I have a feeling of is there's too many options, right? Like, and there's too many competitive products and things like that. I have a feeling that having a simple app with just like a deposit and then the person goes, where is this? Oh, we use a thing called Etherlink and we diversify your portfolio across whatever it goes in this. And then anyone who's nerdy enough to want to read the back end and learn about it will be able to do that because you have to and be transparent and all that. But I have a feeling that selling that single app to do the single thing might actually be a easier product to sell. It might, we could all have opinions on what's a better product and I want options and things like that. But, being a nerd who was around when social media became a thing, I worked at MySpace and I watched I was at MySpace pre-Facebook and pre-Twitter and all of these things. And I saw how giving people too many options actually partly is what killed the product. There was a lot of other horrible things going on that really killed the product too, and drove people away. But that was one of the things I learned over time is sometimes what people say they want and what actually helps drive more engagement and usage is different. And what you feel people want because you can give people more options isn't always the best. But I have no idea. I'm excited to use your product. I'm going to test it out. I'll try to play with it tonight. One quick question.
I'm trying to bring it up. It won't work for me. RIBO.xyz in my DNS.
I'm on it right now. I'll text you on Slack. I'm on it.
I don't know why. I'm texting it in. I'm like, it says DNS can't find it. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I put it in the private chat right here. I threw it in there. I'm on it. So but one quick question. I know Kevin's buzzing around there and he's trying to get different people on, but really quickly, you're in the Etherlink accelerator right now. We're talking about Etherlink. Are you a technical co-founder or do you have a technical co-founder? Are you more on the front end? Are you technical yourself?
Yeah, I'm visionary DeFi guy. So we have executive, we have technological expertise, and I'm like DeFi strategy, vision, and good mood.
I like it. From a technical standpoint, at least what you hear from your teammates, building on Etherlink, easier, harder, no different than building on any other EVM?
So we
be honest. Don't act like you're in the room.
as you said when I came here, is that the possibility to migrate your smart contracts to Etherlink without gas costs, actually.
So wait, tell me, is there no gas on Etherlink, or is it?
It's so. I think at this point it's just no gas, because from if I build retail product and I build retail product, your gas fees are like 0.01 cent.
Okay, so but there is. It's just going to be really
it's
insanely
just
cheap.
such a tiny amount.
It's virtually free coming from Ethereum.
But is Tezos the token you use? Is Tezos the token you'll use for gas?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you use Tezos as the as gas token, but since the DeFi in Etherlink is so based, I mean, Nico is a wonderful guy, and he laid all the important bricks. A really deep thought, not only about technological stuff, but also about liquidity, how to establish the right liquidity with minimum price impacts, how to create the ecosystem of partners like layer 0, how to pick one bridge to not fragment liquidity. It's all really important and really deep, and it will unfold into really amazing ecosystem.
I think that in general, an EVM that has the forethought of the Tezos community would just kill, in my opinion. But
we don't need to kill anyone, but yeah.
Figuratively, not literally. Thankfully. I think that's exciting, man. Well, congrats. I'd love to learn more about it, and please keep us updated on what you're building.
Of course.
Where are you? How much longer are you there in Singapore for?
Yeah, I think it's my last 3 days. Really
3 days?
Intense. Yes. We have been here for 1.5 weeks. The best weeks of my life. Not gonna lie.
Love it. I can't. I can only imagine. There's a lot of cool crew out there that I love. Yes. So tell Kevin to send somebody new, or we can. I don't know if we want to wrap up time, but pleasure
to meet you guys.
Yeah, it was so great to meet you, man. We gotta hang more.
You know, part of me likes DeFi being difficult because it like helps my yield. Because if more people enter, then my yield has to be shared with more people.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea.
And that is the idea eventually over time, right? We do have to share with other people. I'm fine with that eventually.
Yeah. I love it.
It's a strange paradox we have.
What's the pay for difficulty?
Because we all came into DeFi and blockchain under the philosophy and there's different variants of this term, but redistribution of wealth. That's some people hate that term. It's just cleaning up wealth and what it means to be. But otherwise, that's the thing. That's the fundamental idea we all agree on. That's the way it's been done before. This stuff, it's terrible.
I don't think meme coins are much better though.
Okay, random technical question that's changing the subject a little, but I'm already thinking about building stuff and technical ideas are coming to it. Also, are the Plenty dudes still in there? Are they asleep in the other room? Can you yell to them? Because at least I want to see a face.
They need to come in. They're not here yet.
Oh,
I don't.
Tell them I cried.
They slept in.
Okay,
but
tell them
they're well known.
So
for these guys, it was the first time on the show. Yeah.
What was that?
For these guys, it was the first time to come.
Yeah, no, I know. We'll have the Plenty team on. They're building on Etherlink, and they're building a wallet and doing all sorts of things. So, and we'll learn from them. But Kevin, I got a thought. Ethereum addresses. If I use MetaMask to connect to Etherlink, my address on Etherlink will be the same as my ETH wallet address, right?
Mm-hmm.
0x whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
My Tezos address, if I connect via a Tezos wallet to Etherlink, it's going to have to create an EVM compatible something the first time I connect.
That would be a Tezos domains a question and how they're going to be bringing things over. But
is Tezos domain the group? Is Tezos domain part of the integration of using a Tez address onto Etherlink?
Well, Tezos Domains is its own platform, just like ENS is its own platform on Ethereum. Like it's not like ENS is not anything.
Well, what I'm saying is, if
like,
will I be able to connect? Will I be able to connect through like my Kukai wallet or my Galleon wallet to Etherlink?
I believe that's in the works. Like the idea is to have complete two-way working, but in the beginning, I don't think that's yeah.
So
in the
at the
beginning,
beginning, are people expected to use a different wallet? So I'll be using I don't know. I got a message from Bernd, and he's apologizing. Bernd, if you're hearing me right now live, I'm joking. We'll have you on a regular stream. I was goofing about crying. I just was excited to see you because I knew you were there. And we'll have to have a whole episode on the whole Plenty ecosystem.
Plend is their platform. I can tell you. So they're working on a 1-inch for lending platforms. So to aggregate different lending platforms across the EVM lending spectrum. So that's a new and interesting idea. And extends from the previous competencies they've had. Definitely. I mean, I try to give them, because it's not talked about enough. Like when we saw the greatest heights of DeFi liquidity and Tezos and activity, it was on Plenty. There was a lot of people who came, before and after and during that contributed to that. It's been a multi-platform ecosystem, and
they've just continued to ship
but also
really cool and innovative stuff.
Yeah, they deserve that kind of credit. And also it's something in Tezos we need to even mention too. It's like, we are very capable of getting over 100 million TVL. We've done that. We just hit a bear market by the time we had a full DeFi ecosystem, so it didn't get to, so the retention wasn't there and the compounding of it wasn't there, but we'll get there again, and Etherlink is a part of that journey too.
I think Plenty has a wallet also that is going to work on, I think, EVM and Tezos, so maybe they'll be the first wallet that's a single wallet that can do both, maybe. But I'm just trying to figure out, so technically I'll be using my existing Tezos wallet for main chain, and then I'll be using MetaMask for Etherlink at the beginning, at least.
Yeah, I mean, you can use Tezos on MetaMask now, actually, with a Snap add-on. So that's been the case for several months now.
I've never done that. We're gonna have to learn how that works, and if that's the thing is, it's not like I love MetaMask. MetaMask is not a great product. It's just it's just the one that
it's an add-on kind of a thing.
Okay, so I've got a couple quick thoughts before we go, because it's getting a little late for us. And then we're gonna have a whole separate sections, because we regularly hang with you, where you update us and you tell us what Tezfin and everything that you're doing
too.
And then I have some thoughts here. So now that I kind of know what's happening, we'll start experimenting. Maybe we'll build stuff. Maybe we'll invest in some of these companies building stuff on here, which I love the idea of.
And we should get Amar and Nico on an episode as well. Yeah,
100%. And tell Amar that I said hi and I cried that he wasn't on here also.
All right.
Cut that up. 10 a.m. already there. Come on. One last thought before I go. Who's providing the RPC infrastructure for this right now? Is the foundation keeping something up? Is somebody running nodes for this? Who's running the nodes on Etherlink? And I'm asking this selfishly, because should I get Rivet to be? They do EVM. They do some EVM nodes. They keep Polygon online for a huge majority of the traffic for Polygon. Should they be running an Etherlink node? And who? About that.
Yeah, Nico would be a good point of contact for that. But yeah, I mean, this is all new. Like we're on testnet still. So I mean, we're like, it's good that we're talking about scaling infrastructure. And I think, and I know we will see a lot of competition in that regard as well.
Punk Apestrong's drop on Etherlink when it launches is going to be so huge. It's going to need some really heavy infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean, we did build all of this to appease Punk Apestrong. I mean, I know he doesn't. I know he appreciates some of it, but there's a long way to go. But
Lord Punk Apestrong.
It's
yes, peace and blessings.
he's currently his only visible tattoo is his lunar tattoo, but maybe maybe an Etherlink neck tattoo or something seems like it might work on him.
Yeah, and hopefully that's the final. I could not like the. See, this is the old Tezos logo icon, and then we now it's a little bit more extended on this side or whatever. But I paid a guy to get a massive tattoo on his back. Literally, this isn't a joke.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah,
I remember this.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like this big on his back, and like I remember I saw like the redesign of the logo, and it's like, oh, we can't. Oh, that's very
no,
permanent.
it's just
it's vintage.
He was Tezos before it was cool, right? It's like any band, right? If somebody finds out about a band or you talk to somebody about them, they're always like, yeah, they're good, but their early stuff was way better, right? Like
and that guy is in a band. He's a rocker named Yanni Jakob, and if his band is the Darbies. Actually, if you watch Nathan For You, there's an episode where he uses he gets a smoke alarm to be a musical instrument so he can get around tariff law, which is a funny premise in itself. But yeah, and then he formed a band finding people on Craigslist, and then Yanni was the lead singer, and he was actually a really big part of that episode. But that was before he got the tattoo. So, but if you go to show now, he has his shirt off the whole time, so you can always see the Tezos tattoo.
That's really funny. Well, the thing is, it's like my lunar. I like wearing my Lunar Crush shirts with the OG logo.
Yeah. The other guys, a couple of teams just dropped in. If we have a couple more minutes, if you want to keep going,
I can be on for like 5-10 more minutes if we want to just say hi to
they'll
people
get
and see what they're doing.
The quick version. Get over here. You gotta be quick. You can't. You gotta use this to hear. Put it in your ear. It's been in all of our ears.
What's up?
That's it. You can talk.
I'm good. How are you?
This is not like miming.
What are you working on? What's up?
So we're working on 1 inch for lending and borrowing. We found out in.
Oh wait! Right. You fucking you.
Yeah, I'm. Dude, you just realized now.
My brain was broken, and I was just talking about Bern, and I'm like, and because I'm tired, it's the end of the day for me. We were talking about Bern not here, so we talked about plenty already. We talked about it, and then what's funny is I think that most of the times over the years I've talked to you, it's I think it's like more pixelated, whatever. And I just didn't my brain was like just not connecting. Dude, everybody who's been listening for the last long time, we've been talking about Plenty a lot. Is the technical co-founder of Plenty. He's the guy who built all of this. He's one of 2 freaky geniuses that made all of this stuff happen. So we've already said a lot of great things about you. I've got a question for you then. So since I've been asking everybody, and I can trust you to tell me the truth, even though you're in the office with all the people and stuff like that. But has building on Etherlink been any different or more difficult or easier than building on any other EVM? Or is it essentially the same? And tell me that.
So as from the development side of things, it's almost same as far as I've seen, 100% compatible with the EVM. So you have got you can use the same tools like Hardhead, Remix in the same APIs. There might be the only slight differences might be that, some of the EVM chains, let's say Arbitrum has Etherscan guys as a Explorer. Here you have Block Scout, but that's more of the reasons like you don't want to pay too much of money to Etherscan. So you have Block Scout, and you can use their APIs. But in terms of APIs pulling data, it's super fast. Speed is good. It's like 150, 200 milliseconds. So that's been really good in our opinion. And then there's also I think over the last period of few weeks, we have also given a lot of, there have been any issues, we have given the feedback and they've optimized it. The goal is to have it 100% EVM compatible. All the opcodes of EVM and every operation or transaction structure of EVM should be compatible with this. So yeah, you don't have. So if anybody wants to move to Etherlink, they don't necessarily have to write even a single line of code.
Cool. They just connect a different RPC and done. Wait, before you go. Hey, don't. Kevin's trying to steal you. Put it back on. Put it back on. Om is special. He gets extra time. Sorry, Kevin. I have a question, because we're talking about switching between Tezos and Etherlink. Right now, it looks like most people's user experience will be using one wallet for Tezos, one wallet for Etherlink, but you guys have the Plenty wallet. Are you guys going to have both within the same wallet? Or
So for Plenty Wallet, we recently did the audit as well. So for now, at least for next 2-3 months, it's going to be Tezos compatible only. We are mostly focused on our EVM product. So of course we are more on the maintenance mode for our Tezos product, right? If there is an issue, we make sure all the APIs, all the indexers are up. There are no issues that users are facing, and we are actively also putting few words out about that. But like 80 to 90% of our time is now focused on building this EVM product that of course will start with Etherlink and then move beyond the cross chains to all the other EVM platforms, including like Arbitrum, Base, Optimism, likes of these as well.
awesome.
So that's been our goal.
Remind me to connect you with a couple people building DeFi products on those other chains for what you're building for the cross chain 1 inch for
sure.
yield, right? So 1 inch for yield, right? And what's funny is when 1 inch launched, we were I was a little annoyed back in the day because we were investors in the first DEX aggregator that ever existed. It was called Total, and 1 inch and 0x a little bit just copied them and stole their thunder a little bit. But it is the most used one, so we got to give them the love, and they got an exit, so they were happy, and it worked out anyway. But
I think Kevin is becoming a bit restless. Let me give him.
I know. Okay, give him the thing. Wait, quickly tell. Can you? Okay, tell Bernd. Kevin, yell at him to tell Bernd, give him a hug for us.
Hello.
It's Navi. We've been working on stable tech things.
Yes, Navi. I've met you before from the Cryptonomic office, maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
that's exactly where.
And she's
Nice.
also
How is Singapore and Etherlink, and are you mostly there working on TezFin stuff with Kevin, or are you working on other stuff there too?
Yeah, Singapore has been hot and humid, but really beautiful. I've been fine. Kevin has been having a hard time
with the heat.
Yeah. But yeah, I've
Just
been
like
here just to help.
normal life.
Yeah.
Here just to help people with their blockchain UX design. A lot of interesting conversations, specifically with how blockchain UX design is different than any kind of Web 2 UX design. So we've been having a lot of fruitful conversations and work, I hope.
Nice.
Yeah, one-of-ones with.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's been the most exciting? I guess if I ask this, I might be hurting some people's feelings if you answer. But tell me if you got one. What's been the most exciting new product you've seen there, or exciting thing you've gotten to work on or see behind the scenes?
I would say they're all exciting in their own ways, but what I really liked is when I've noticed after a while people have been really thinking about the actual users on the other end of their product. So it's not just like this is our product that does some like, crazy contraption of things. This is our product, and like this is
funny. It's such a crazy thing to say out loud, but in crypto, for people watching, it's so normal and regular to meet like the smartest people you've ever met in your whole entire life that are solving some really obscure or hard technical problem, and they built something amazing, right? Like something that's so technologically advanced that could do something so incredible, but they built it to serve that purpose or to do that thing, but they a lot of times don't actually think about who's going to use it or how they're going to interact with it or anything like that. And so you might look at it and go, okay, I'm a semi-technical person. I've been in the crypto space for years. I've played with really complicated things, but I don't know how to use this, or I don't know even where to start. It happens so often. So you've been pleasantly surprised by this group of companies actually considering the user in their product journey?
I think that's like the whole goal of what we've been doing, where we started off maybe slightly more technical and realized these are actually people, or people are at different places. We've even done some like impromptu user tests here, which has been fun, like just getting people who might be users and seeing them use your product.
My favorite thing to do when I worked in QA and building my own products and things like that, I would every once in a while put it in front of my mom. But one thing I like to do is just give a product to someone and stand behind them and just watch them and tell them, don't turn around, don't look at me, don't ask questions. And just seeing where they move the mouse while they're trying to figure it out and whatever. And you start to realize if your product is too complicated or if you've done something wrong, right?
That's exactly what we did. And we use what's called like the think out loud method, which is like whatever is coming to your brain, just say it, like stream of consciousness. And that's
pretty
been
much
the
how
most
I live my whole
helpful.
life.
Yeah. Nice.
But that's really, really cool. So you've helped a lot of the companies refine their product and do all that.
Yeah, and we have luckily some other designers here as well. We have Bahadur from Trilitech, and then Rima, who's from one of the teams from SaveX. So there's been surprisingly a good design representation, which I think sometimes can be rare. Yeah,
especially in crypto. And I think it's probably, like you said, it's so overlooked, and it's probably the most important thing now that products exist, right? But mainstream adoption needs to happen, and it needs to happen because of ease of use, because of better design, because of just the user experience. So that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much longer is the program going for in Singapore? A few more days?
Yep. How many more days do we have left?
We were here
3?
for like all last week, and then it ends this Friday.
Ends this Friday, or Saturday.
Yeah, technically, Saturday.
All right. Well, enjoy the last few days. It was great to see you, and congrats on everything so far. And by the way, is there a place for if other folks building crypto products want to get in touch with you? You're still Cryptonomic in New York?
Yeah, I'm still Cryptonomic in New York.
So Cryptonomic is we've had them on before. We've had a guy named Vishak on who runs it. We're good friends with Mike Radin and the whole crew there, and of course Kevin is close with them. So if you are somebody building something in the crypto space, Cryptonomic is a great resource. Reach out to them. They build stuff not just on Tezos but on Ethereum too.
Yeah, Cryptonomic.tech, as Kevin specified.
All right. Thank you. Great to see you.
Great.
Congrats and safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. There we go. I think that was a pretty cool crew of people. I am my brain was broken. I didn't even recognize Ohm at first, so now I feel like a total butthead.
This is Etherlink Ohm. You know Tezos Ohm.
That's right.
He's got another layer on him.
So I have a quick question for Kevin, because I've been playing with Tezos as we've been sitting here. And
good for you.
We talked about CTEZ earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that I noticed that CTEZ is slightly off regular Tez. It's like and so
if you go to
is it more like staked ETH where it's accruing rewards while it's CTEZ? Like, is it baked?
Yeah, it's interesting, because even with staked ETH, there's not like one kind of like it's more like so basically as it scales, it'll be more stable. So there's something that's inherent to the design that's called the drift, and that drift is the difference between the price of Tesla and the price. So it is arbitrage what you're seeing. But so it's one of those things that just as it scales, like it balances out more. So that's an arbitrage.
There's no baking built into the token. Like
no, so the whole point of it is that you take the Tez, you put it in an oven. Go to ctez.app. You can see these different ovens for different bakers, or you can start a new one. And then and as opposed to normal bake where it's liquid, you can move it out anytime. You're locking it in. Like, this is special. You're locking it in, like a CDP, and then you're able to mint and pull out this new thing called CTES. If you want to get your TES back, you put back the CTES, and then you can unlock your TES.
So in theory, they should be 1 for 1, though.
Yeah, and then there's also the other part of this. The other component is there is a contract. Well, actually the biggest contract is on Plenty, but the biggest DEX for it. But then there's a main one with the protocol that's CTES and TES, and then they're paired to each other. So that should be balanced. So if you see a drift, you can do arbitrage and make money.
Well, so is there a version of TES at all that has the baking built into it, like a wrap version?
Tezos, well, so right. So that's just called TES. So you have to you bake it. So let me back up again. So the whole point of this is that when you use if you were to use raw TES in a DeFi protocol, okay, and this is why it matters. So if it weren't for DeFi or anything where you would deposit TES, it wouldn't matter. We wouldn't have CTES. It wouldn't matter. Who cares? Okay. You don't need it. But because right. So this is the key is this is the key point. So when you start putting raw TES into a contract, like what we're dealing with right now, because we haven't made a CTES pool yet on TezFin, and that's another side story. But people are like, is my TES being staked on TezFin? And it's like, well, no. And actually, you can borrow it at better than the staking rate and make money. They're like, well, shouldn't that be the case? It's like, okay, well, if we did that, the next question is, who's baking the TES? Well, if we did it with our own, well, that's centralized. That kind of defeats the purpose of all this. And also, it's like, who the hell are we to put it on our own baker? And some people do that with their protocols, and that's questionable to some people, not others.
Well, I mean,
or we choose a different baker. So the theory behind CTES is that it's always going to be forever political, and you want to, if you're making this,
so why not?
So if you go under the premise, so yeah, there's different ideas on this. I'm not necessarily personally. I think maybe before jumping into the wrapped versions of TES, I think there were a lot of other innovative ways to maybe get around this. I personally, and I think this goes under, they're underappreciated. What Madfish did with Kipu Swap initially was very cool. It wasn't perfect, but it was a very cool start where they're like, well, hey, how about we have the LPs, have all the liquidity providers, they vote on which baker should bake their pool. And that was a very cool idea, very decentralized, and they had nothing to do with it. Were the problems? Some people would take advantage of a pool that maybe didn't have any voting going on at that moment, or they would sneak up during, like, just timing wise, and then they would just have their own baker do it, and they would set their baker to like 100% fee. So it was like something. Well, he wouldn't mind if I said that. So Cebu did that. Cebu TES, so he did that a lot.
He's been around,
but I mean,
for a long time, has been an early experimenter and done all sorts of stuff.
He's very open about this. I mean, it did expose problems with that method, but so there were perfections that needed to be done. But I thought it was a great outside the box way of thinking, and I think that deserves appreciation. But yeah, so there are other wrap versions of TES. So just so you know, there are all so WTZ came around the same time. That doesn't bake it. It's just a 1-for-1. Just to get it to the FA12 standard. And then what you see on like what Upana does, they don't use either of those. They have their own wrapped version, and they call that WTES. And so that does go to their own baker. Yeah, so that's the thing. The reason why we haven't delegated the TES on TezFin, and the reason why we haven't put CTES in, well, we haven't delegated for the reasons I mentioned, but also and also because like we'll have a separate pool for CTES, but CTES, the current version of it that's out now, is built on like was designed at like an older version of Tezos protocol itself, in which we didn't have views on smart contracts, and that makes it very difficult and expensive, if at all, to be able to track the price of it, and people would be able to exploit and take advantage of, like it would mess a lot of things up for CTES and for TezFin and for users. Okay. So for safety reasons, but there is a new updated version of CTES coming out that does have use. So there will be a CTES 2.0, and that should sweep the world. So we'll use that. We're going to use that.
So
we'll launch it.
You're there. you're there till the end of the week. Are you staying a
Yeah.
little longer? Or are you coming back home at the end of the week?
No, I'll be coming back. On Saturday, and
Okay.
yeah,
So
well, late Saturday,
maybe
almost
next
Sunday.
week. So maybe next week or the
Yeah.
week after, we'll do
Oh, yeah.
another session where we learn more about this. I think that we have some homework to do in playing around and looking at the documentation that you said you'll share with us, and then anyone we missed on this, like Bernd and some of the others, when they get back home, we'll do some more hang sessions, because I want to keep learning about it. Obviously, I played around with Tezos very early, and we've experimented for years on it. Thanks to you. You are the first most aggressive community member, and still there, bringing us into the mix and having a great time. And I want to keep doing it. And so,
yes, I'm a great televangelist of
you are the
and I'm here to save you.
That's right. And so go enjoy being in Singapore. I'm jealous. It looks like a lot of fun, and you got a great crew there.
Come out.
Tell everyone I missed that I say hi, and please share our contact info with all the teams we just met, and let's keep it going. I'm excited to learn more. And I know that you're doing a ton of stuff we haven't even scratched the surface of.
Oh yeah. My role here is my title is lead strategic growth partner. So I'm not even part of the 5 even though we're working on our stuff too. But yeah, these are Etherlink projects. We've been working on our L1 Tezos projects, which it's just beginning its scale. The Tezos L1 is, and yeah, it's a very interesting place. And yeah, we've been doing so much networking with VCs and strategic partners, market makers, all of that. And this is the start of something that will go on, for years and years to come. So I feel like we're also at a very historic juncture with all of this. And now you guys are a part of it. We'll look back at this of many videos to come.
And I'm glad that Etherlink coordinated their branding and color scheme to match who they expect and plan and hope to be the most strategic venture capital partner for the ecosystem.
All of this revolves around DGB and Punk Ape Strong.
That's right.
That's why we built all of this.
That's right. Well, but Kevin, see, I'll switch the logos in the corner and stuff. We'll get all the green and stuff. See, it just matches. So we're gonna have to do more. But tell everyone I say hi.
Video we can add.
Thank you for doing this. And we're gonna have a great evening here. You have a great day in Singapore. You're just getting started, and can't wait to hear all the things that are growing out of it. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks.
Take care, guys.
Good seeing you guys.